Hey everybody, welcome back to yet another armament update video. And this is bringing it to 2.2, the tactical update. Yes, a lot of cool things are coming in this update, including like 4 new guns, yes, 4 new guns, attachments, and several types of ammo types for the M203 attachment. And yeah, this video is not going to be super in-depth because, you know, I already did an in-depth video about this stuff. So if you're more curious about how all these function and whatnot, go ahead and check out my previous video because I haven't changed any of like the functionality or anything, but I will be showing the improvements I have added over this past like week and a half or so, just to show you guys what's coming and whatnot. And yeah, just let's get straight into it, guys, starting with this M16. Alright guys, before we get started, I'd just like to point out this is where you would find all the new weapons and whatnot if you're using my template world here. Just a super easy place for you to find all the new things, you know what I'm saying? Alright guys, let's check out the M16A4. And I already went over a lot of this stuff, so I'm not really going to go over every single thing, but I will just show you, you know, it's pretty cool, you know, I'm really satisfied with how this M16 turned out. And I hope you guys are too, you know, it's a super cool gun in my opinion. Very cool. And what's really cool now, the attachments. Yes, let's go into the attachments very briefly. And there's a few other guns that will have attachments available. But for now, you know, it will improve too, like drastically as more time goes on, you know, more guns will have these type of variants and stuff like that. Just because, you know, one day it will. So yeah, let me grab some ammo here. I forgot to grab some ammo. There we go. Super cool, but as you can see, just applying the attachments, the animation slightly changed. You can see the positioning of my hand there change depending on what attachment I have. So like if I have grip, let me just scroll down and find a grip. There we go. You can see it even changes in first person and in third person, you know. It's very cool, just little additions, you know, and same with the ACOG, you see a little particle and stuff and like that. +4 range, very cool. 5 utility, -3 accuracy for the M203. And the grip, you get +3 accuracy. And like I said, I'm not going to go over, like, show you these actually functioning, like the accuracy and whatnot. You can check those out in my previous video, like I stated. But I will be going over, like, the shell variants. So the shell variants, I ended up adding a good amount of stuff to the M16. Well, not a good amount of stuff, just, like, changed it. So let's just get into the shells, shall we? So the shells, when you have the M203 attached, I added another, just a notification for you, you know, so below the attachment info, there's also ammo info. So it's just giving you more guidance because, you know, maybe someone didn't watch my video and don't know what the heck's going on. So yeah, so hotbar 7. So this is the 7th hotbar slot. And if you didn't know, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know how to count. That's just how the game is coded. So it starts with 0, you know. And if that's too confusing for everyone, maybe I'll change it. But to me, it makes sense. But yeah, this is the 8th slot bar in the code, but that actually is like 9th if you're just counting. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, so let's go ahead and load up. Oh, I didn't even put it in the right spot. I was like, wait, the heck? The 7th. See, I already forgot my own thing. So 7th hotbar slot there. So now I have it loaded. You can just go ahead and attach or load it with the dirty shell. So the dirty shell has been improved pretty drastically. As you can see, it kind of explodes into this like cool ooze and grossness. And it's like a poison shell. So it might be a little too overpowered. So like so basically what's happening here, yeah, I get a little sick and some poison effect just from those droplets. So basically on impact, it shoots even more like smaller projectiles, making it spread like crazy, which I think is super cool. And imagine if someone's like hiding behind a wall, right? So like say there's like, imagine there's a wall right here. And then if you shoot, oh, I need to reload. And if you shoot above, like, and there's a way to shoot above them, you can just make it rain death on them with the dirty shell or the fire, because the fire does something very similar. But yeah, it's super cool. Here, let me go ahead and make it nighttime, so these effects look way cooler at night, in my opinion. I'm a little biased, but yeah, they look pretty snazzy. Pretty happy with how it turned out. Maybe a little too glowy, but whatever, you know, it's something cool in my opinion. Super cool. Alright guys, so I want to talk about the impact effects from any M203 shell now. and this will actually be applied to the M27 as well. And by the way, these shells will only work for the M203. The HE shell will only work for the M79. I just couldn't get it done in time, guys. There was just too much to do and so much stuff that I was working on. But it will come eventually, trust me, as well as like the M203 attachment working on other guns. For now, it only works on the M16, but it will work on other ones eventually, trust me. But anyway, so yeah, the HE shell. Of course, I would just put it in your 7th hotbar slot. Let me go ahead and load it and show you what the impact effect I'm talking about. So when mob griefing is turned off, it will leave like just like a defilade, like a black defilade, you know what I mean? Just like a cool effect, you know, because, you know, after the explosion, it kind of makes sense to have something on the ground. And that will, like I said, that will only stay like that if you have mob griefing turned off. Because if mob griefing's turned on, it will actually create a hole in the, like it will break blocks, you know? So that effect won't be there. But I just thought that was really cool, especially if you're using this for like a PvP thing and you don't want to be breaking blocks. Just having that, you know, like video games have that stuff, just super cool. And all of them have something like that, and it will be varied, you know, like smaller. Like the dirty one will have a green effect, as you've seen. You know, super simple. It's nothing super crazy. But I thought it was a nice little touch, you know what I'm saying? It looks a little too glowy during the day, like I said. But yeah, guys, I just thought I would point that out. Super cool. Alrighty, guys, the next thing I want to talk about is the Incendiary Shell. And this has been improved pretty drastically too, just like the Dirty Shell. And it will just kind of spread wildfire, you know, it's pretty gnarly. So just be cautious with how you do it or use it, because it will absolutely destroy your base if you're not, especially if it's made out of wood. But yeah, as you can see, it leaves like this cool like black trail of where the fluids of the shell landed, you know, super cool. I mean, there's not much else to talk about it. Of course, if you look at the shell closely being loaded, you can actually see that a red shell is being activated. And here, let me shoot it. Just like the Dirty Shell, if you hit it at a separate target, will spread out differently, and it looks so cool. I love that effect, and it just sets everything on fire. I think it's so awesome. Such a cool addition to add, you know, these type of things to do. I mean, just devastating. Like I said, I could probably might need to nerf these a little bit, but I think it's really cool for now, you know, just for you guys to mess with. You guys can obviously give me feedback on it. Yeah, super fun to use. I'm excited to just keep working on this project, guys. It's come a long way since I started, to be honest. Next thing I want to talk about, guys, is the smoke shell. The smoke shell, I haven't changed much on the visual side, but it actually does as stated before. Like, I wanted to make it hide you or cloak you from zombies. So that's exactly what it will do now. So if I go ahead and spawn in some zombies here and put myself in survival, see, they want to attack me, but if I go inside of this, now they don't see me. See, now they're like, what the heck, where'd he go? Oh my god. And if I just move a little, now you see, I just thought that was a super cool addition to do, you know. There's more fun things to use these attachments for, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't have, like, if you're not playing PvP, it still brings a usefulness to the shell, you know, rather than it just being strictly PvP. It actually has a purpose. And of course, you can just dome shot the zombies with any of the shells, and it will just kill them instantly, because, you know, if you get hit by one of these things, it would be devastating. And lastly, guys, the next thing I want to talk about is the Confetti Shell. The Confetti Shell is just a goofy shell. It doesn't really have any practicality when it comes to PvP or the zombies. Like I said, you can kill zombies with any of the shells, so you just have to direct hit them, and it will kill them. So the Confetti Shell is more of like a BM way to kill someone, you know what I'm saying? So if I shoot it, it does a little cool little cheer and some particles. It gives you some XP. But yeah, I thought that would be a really funny thing to do. Like, imagine you're playing PvP and you're just like standing next to your buddy, and then this shell hits them and they die, and it plays that sound. I just thought that would be hilarious. And the effect definitely needs to be worked on, guys, but like I said, I just ran out of time. I was working on too much stuff, but it's still a pretty cool thing to play with, you know, just another awesome variant to this M203 here. Alrighty, guys, the next thing I want to talk about is swimming animations. That's right. A patron pointed out that I have no swimming animations, and he's absolutely correct. I just completely blanked and forgot about water mechanics in this add-on. But now, once you enter the water, it will just immediately put whatever weapon is in your main hand on your back, and then in first person it will still show your hands. I thought was cool, but it just looks like you're swimming, you know? I thought that was a nice little feature, and you can actually see the attachments on my gun too still, like you see the M203 and the ACOG attached. And like I said, this will be for every single gun, and it will just display on your back, and it will be varied slightly depending on what it is. And as soon as you come out, see, it will just instantly draw it. I thought that was a really cool addition. But here, let me grab like another, like if I grab a deagle, it will be displayed differently. So like if I put it, go in the water now, see, it will be on my hip. So like, even though it doesn't really make sense, like you should have like a satchel or something, like a, I don't know what you call that, but like a thing where you put your gun, a holster. God, I couldn't remember the name. So it would make more sense if you had a holster, but I thought that was just a nice touch, you know. And same with attachments. I gave attachments all 3D items. So like if you have an attachment in your main hand, it will also be displayed on your hip there, depending on what it is, you know. It doesn't really matter what it is. But yeah, it's super cool. Speaking of 3D items here, so you can see it's just super simple. Like if you have the whole foregrip in your main hand, or any of the new items, it will actually display a 3D item, you know. This, and if it's in your offhand, it won't do this, like especially with these, because you know it's supposed to be attached on your actual gun, so it won't be displayed in your offhand. But in your main hand, it will. You know, super cool, pretty snazzy. And of course, if you drop it, it will actually show like the material effects stills, like so you can see the night vision ACOG actually being displayed there. I thought that was a really cool addition, you know. And same with the Radium Goggles. It looks like you're actually holding a pair of Radium Goggles rather than just a massive item or something, you know. And if it drops, you see a little version of the Radium Goggles. A cool little feature, you know. Gotta have 3D items, you know, always. Alrighty, guys. And of course, all these new items mostly are craftable. So if you just scroll down with it with all toggled, you can see easy ways how to craft all these attachments, you know. Super simple, mellow, you know, super easy to find. Alright, but the next thing I want to talk about, guys, there are more guns being added. Yes, so I went ahead and decided to add Netherite variants to the MP40, the Desert Eagle, and the MX115. That's right, these look pretty cool. And as I was like working on attachments and stuff, I was like, dude, it would be really cool to see these, like the Desert Eagle, you know, it's white or gold. I just thought it would be cool to see it in like a gun color, you know, like a netherite color. I thought it was kind of cool. And originally I had these being like shooting like red laser beams instead of like regular bullets. I decided against that because I thought, you know, most people would just prefer just a recolor of the skin and not like making it sound goofy with lasers and stuff. That's just what's coming with this update, guys. Just a couple more reskins for the guns, and they're super cool though, you know. And of course you gotta craft it. And, okay, so the reason many of you are probably like, what the heck, why do some of the like the gold gun, like if the Desert Eagle, hold on, let me go and search for creative here, sorry, I'm tripping over my own words. But the Desert Eagle has no variant for like its ammo type, you know, like the golden AK and the golden MP40 actually has a separate magazine for it. And the reason why, because the magazine itself is actually being changed. So like if I look at the magazine, see, it's actually changing the color of the magazine. Same with the gold, so it's actually a gold magazine. The Desert Eagle doesn't do that. The Desert Eagle all has black magazines, so I thought it just made sense not to give them you know, any separate crafting recipe, you know. And yeah, but yeah, so it does get a little pricey to make the netherite magazine. Yeah, it's a little, you have to use at least one piece of scrap to grade it, but I was, you know, I felt a little bad, so I was like, you know, if you use a netherite scrap to make this ammo, it will give you 8 magazines rather than just 1, so you save a lot of bullet ammunition for sacrificing a piece of netherite scrap. Yeah, super cool. And of course, to make the gold or the netherite MP40, just gotta wrap it around in scraps, you know what I'm saying? Super cool. And same thing with the MX115. I just realized I didn't add that, but it will be the exact same. Alrighty, guys, so next thing I want to talk about is the attachments on the Deagle. So I ended up deciding against it, and I'll show you why. I mean, look at these screenshots. it is kind of cool, but it just looks so goofy with the current attachments, you know? Like, it makes no sense to put a grip on the Desert Eagle or an ACOG scope. I mean, I know you can in some games, but the ACOG scope just looks so goofy to me when you're ADSing. I couldn't get it to look right without it being stuffed in your face. So yeah, I decided against it, but eventually it will have, like, you know, like a red dot, maybe a flashlight or a laser sight. You know, all the, like, it has those rails on it, so it's like perfect for attachments. Just not yet, guys. Like, I just decided against it. But yeah, that's what's going on with the Desert Eagle and the Netherite Desert Eagle and the Netherite MP40. And the next really cool one is the Netherite RAMX115. And I also have edited quite a bit the animations for some of these guns, or the ones that I've been messing with, like the AMW and stuff. I didn't like change them drastically. I just changed like how their arms are, because I don't know what I was thinking back then, because a lot of the animations, the arms actually look like they're being detached from the body. So I need to fix a lot of animations eventually. But yeah, it just looks a little bit smoother now. It actually looks like your arms are attached for the most part in most of the animations. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And as you can see, some of you diehard fans will know that the MX115 automatically had a grip attached in the default version. I've gone ahead and removed the grip because now you can actually attach your own grip. And again, the animations will slightly change depending if you have a grip or not. You see what I'm saying? So now it looks like you're holding it. It looks more similar to how it did originally. But yeah, it's super cool. And I decided to keep the holographic on for now. I think it should, just because, you know, it's a futuristic laser gun. I think it absolutely should do that. But yeah, it's super, super cool. And of course, the attachments will work on the MX. So you can just go ahead and attach an ACOG if you would like. Super cool. Awesome, don't you think? And another thing that I added, I can't believe I overlooked this before, but I added impacts for these special like plasma bullets. So now you have like these cool like afterglow effects when it impacts, and same with the red one. It will actually shoot red lasers instead of blue, and it will leave like pinkish red impacts. I thought that was just super awesome, you know what I'm saying? Super, super cool. Awesome looking. And yeah, so obviously when you drop it, the attachments won't stay attached, so it'll just look normal. You know, I haven't really decided how I want to keep these attached yet. I still prefer them to be interchangeable how they are, because that's just so awesome to me. And yes, again, the M203 should be working on this gun, but I just didn't have time, guys. There's too much I was trying to do, you know? It's just, yeah. But eventually, it will. Eventually, trust me. But yeah, regardless, another really cool gun to add to the collection. Alright guys, the last gun I want to touch on about attachments is the AWM. That's right, the AWM, you know, the ADS on this bad boy is super hard to control, and you know, it's because I'm using the slowness effect. That's not actually like using the Minecraft like damping effect. I wish I could. I just don't know how to, or I don't think it's possible to use something like that. But yeah, regardless, I ended up giving it, of course, the ACOG scopes, and you know, it just makes it so much more user-friendly, you know, and it's super cool. And another effect that also made it so it's more accurate. That's just a general change. And by the way, guys, if you're curious about all the things I've fixed, changed, like all the bugs, I have all of it in the description or on the actual download on my Patreon. You can see all the things that were added, changed, or whatever, just to give you a heads up. But yeah, so another feature that the ACOG adds, so with the AWM, with the regular scope on it, if you try to pull it back right now, you couldn't do it in the AWM's like regular scope. But now you can by pressing the attack button. It will just load it, you know, super cool, nothing crazy. But yeah, so like if I detach my ACOG scope and try to zoom in here, and if I fire and I try to reload, it's like, I don't know if you can hear me clicking. I'm definitely clicking and it's not pulling it back. So you have to like actually leave ADS to pull it back, and attaching the ACOG scope makes it so you can just immediately do it without having to exit ADS, you know what I mean? So now you can just fire and then rapid reload. I thought that was a nice little feature to add for the ACOG to make it more like user-friendly, you know, because you don't have this massive scope and weighing it down, you know? Super cool. And of course, the night vision optic works best at night, so you probably want to make sure it's nighttime if you're trying to use this. But yeah, super cool. Such an awesome addition, the night vision scope and whatnot. And also changed, like I said, the good amount of the animations on this bad boy, because the arms looked like they were ripped off of the body for a lot of the animations. So yeah, there has been a lot of adjustments for that. And of course, guys, before we close out this video, let's talk about the Radium Goggles. And I know I already touched on this, but yeah, it's got a 3D item, and if you put it on, and it will just immediately, oh, it's because it didn't remove the item because I was not in survival there. But as you can see, it gives me a nice little fancy goggle set, and then in first person, you got this nice vision effect. And I know you guys have probably seen it, but I just got to end the video with something cool like this, because I think it's just so awesome to see all these effects, you know what I'm saying? It's just so awesome. This update, the tactical update, guys, and this is going to be like an ongoing tactical update, because there's so many guns to add attachments to or for, you know, like it's just so much stuff, you know, guys. But slowly but surely, remember, it's all about baby steps. I'm all about doing all the little things. It just gradually becomes something great, you know? Just all little pieces coming together, and it's really starting to come along, and I'm super happy with how this add-on's turning out. But without further ado, guys, I hope you enjoy this 2.2 update and all the new stuff as much as I loved making it. I just hope you enjoy it. Yeah, have a good one, guys. I'll see you later.